Greetings, everyone. I don't know who will be watching this after it's up on the channel, but still, uh, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from whichever part of the world you're watching this right now. And a quick introduction about me because this from today onwards, the session is going to be towards a leadership boot camp which I'm coming up with. So for that purpose, I'm just giving my own introduction here once again so that it will be a little more easy and comfortable for people to connect with me. So basically, I am an baker artist turned into a soft skills trainer, an image consultant, emotional intelligence practitioner, NLP master. I've done my NLP masters, even my TEDx speaking, and life coaching hats goes on. But at the end of the day, we we all end up in this, or we get stuck in this one situation where many a times like being asked this question that how did you find your passion, or how did you find out what you're currently doing. I would say it's more of you playing around, you putting yourself into different situations, you putting yourself into different roles, taking up different roles. The It's not about the outcome, or it's not about winning something, or it's not about losing something, but you giving it that try to do something so that you discover who you are from within as well as from externally also. Because it's not about in what age bar are you, it's not about where you are, it's not about, you know, yes, it's about something what you do. But to figure out that what you do comes with lot of self exploration. How do you do that exploration? Through putting yourself into, lot of activities. So with that being said, you know, we often find these statements where, life is about creating yourself, life is about becoming who you are. We have lot of statements which has been created with someone has created those statements, and we still believe what it's been told to us. But today I want to ask you a simple question. Do you hold a designation, or do you truly lead people? Because leadership is not about a title, a position, or an authority. Leadership is influence, it's your presence, it's the ability to inspire action even when no one is watching. Or like people say that, the other hand should not know what is your left hand doing, or your right hand should not know what is your left hand doing, or your left hand should not know what is your right hand doing, right? So basically, this leadership bootcamp is designed for 1 month program of weekly 2 days in a week. So basically, it comes to 8 classes. But whoever feels okay, want to do deep exploration, we can do that. We can identify as to what you're looking for. See, every topic, if you take in soft skills or these kinds of in your personality development, every topic or every segment is an ocean to be explored. It is an ocean to be explored. But what we are going to do is we will initially start by exploring the tip of the iceberg, and then we will dive deeper. It can be if you have struggled with confidence, communication, your decision making, your team challenges, or self doubt in leadership, then this is for you. Or if you're thinking that, okay, I don't know what kind of a leader I am. We all have personalities or individuals which we look upon to, or what kind of leadership style do they follow. So in this next for next some time, you will really understand. Maybe it can be a thought-provoking session. Maybe you can start thinking in those lines where what does leadership really mean to you? Or and even what are the 5 core leadership skills as an individual, what you need, or everyone needs it. the common leadership mistakes, or even how your emotional intelligence changes your leadership. That being said, something like active listening, small things like these can make a big difference, and how you can start leading with clarity and confidence. Many of us may have the clarity but will not have the confidence. Many of us will have the confidence, may not have the clarity. Might be that. So let's understand that leadership has evolved from the earlier times. Leadership meant command and control, but today leadership has a different definition, which is connection and clarity. Because today, in today's age, a leader must be able to manage diverse teams, multiple generations, emotional well-being, rapid change, even high performance pressure. We have different verticals, we have different streamline of work, we have different, rather endless choices of things which we can do today. But true leadership is about you becoming self aware about yourself, self awareness. With self awareness comes clarity. With clarity comes clear communication or clear thoughts or clear way of articulation of your thoughts, empathy, accountability, even your vision. Because leadership starts from within before it reflects outward. So, if you're watching us this live with me or you're going to watch this later, I want you to pause this video right here and ask yourself, how do people feel after interacting with you or with me? Do I inspire confidence or confusion? Do people follow me willingly or reluctantly? What it is. I just want you to just think over this and see, because many a times what happens is, even when you go to a restaurant to have food, if you don't like it, if the customer service is not good, or if the hospitality is not good, we never go back. So leadership also plays the same role. So when we talk about the five core pillars of effective leadership, as I said earlier, it starts with your self awareness. Because great leaders know their strength, their triggers, and even their blind spots. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. Because, see, it's not about you doing something right or wrong. As long as it is working for you, you're good to go. But still, we should know to navigate ourselves through a lot of different things. Let it be your emotions, let it be talking to people, or let it be you leading a team. It can be anything. After you becoming self-aware, and that brings us to the second point, which is communication. It can be verbal, it can be non-verbal, it can be both ways, or the way you articulate something. Because leadership fails not because of bad intention, but because of unclear communication. I'll give you one simple example, or a live example which we all always often face this. Imagine you meet someone for the first time in an elevator, and that person asks you what you do, or what is your aim and what you do. You hardly have 60 seconds to a minute to talk about what you do, or who you are. Until, if you don't have the clarity of thought, until you're not self-aware, do you really think you'll be able to give a best elevator pitch, which is not more than a minute or two? I'm not saying you'll be able to give the best one at the first pause or at the first time, but then think about this. See, at some point of time, we are the heroes of our own story, or we are that main character in our own books, the journals which we write many a times, but we somewhere we start degrading us. I hope everybody agrees with me on this. whatever role you are doing, we start degrading us. And that leads to the third pillar, which is your emotional intelligence, which is leadership is not about controlling the others, but it's about understanding emotions of yourself and them, and their emotions as. Many a times, what happens? We think that why is this person always getting angry? Why is this person always feeling irritated? Why is this person, or why is this individual, always looking so dull and depressed? Why? Many a times, what happens? We try to control what the other person does because maybe it's not in our favor. Maybe we are not liking it. But I encourage whoever is listening this now or later to start cultivating something called the active listening or listening to understand, but not listening to respond or react. Yes, different lot of individuals, lot of people have different priorities, different commitments, different things. But let me ask you, if you give them that 15, 20 minutes, or even if of your 5 minutes of that listening here, maybe you're making that other person's day even more better rather by giving your time. Because who doesn't likes to be being heard without judgment? That brings me to the fourth pillar, which is your decision making. A leader doesn't wait for perfection, they choose progress over paralysis. See, the three pillars which I told in the beginning, the self awareness, your communication, your emotional intelligence, all these things comes to at one point, which is your decision making. All these things affect your decision making. At one point of time, all these things starts affecting your decision making because you're not self-aware, because your self-aware is not at the greater extent, your communication gets affected. Because your communication is getting affected, verbal, non-verbal, the way you articulate, because you don't have that clarity of thought. What happens because of less or no self-awareness, with less or no communication, your EI, your emotional intelligence gets affected. You're finding it difficult to navigate yourself through something. You're finding it difficult, okay, am I taking the right decision or not? It's not in the role what you play, but in whatever role what you play, you are the leader in that role, in whichever role. Even if you are a manager, even if you're a CEO, even if you are an employee, you are a leader in that role. Because leadership doesn't come with hierarchy. Wherever you are, in whichever role you are the leader. If you're starting something of your own, you are the leader. So, with that being said, and that brings us to the last point, or the last pillar in leadership is integrity and consistency. People don't follow words, they follow your behavior. Many a times what happens, I'll give you very daily life example. How many of us think that I want to get up and start working out? Or how many of us think that let me start going for a 30 minutes walk every day? First initial 2 3 days we are in that high motivation. We end up doing third day, body pain, this, that. We start giving reasons and we just give it a quit. But today I urge you to all of you to start relying on discipline more than motivation. Yes. Hats off to whoever is doing it every day, especially Prem sir has responded in the chat. Thank you for that. So keeping that in mind, just note down whatever questions you have. I'll just finish this and then we will go to your question and answers, your apprehensions, your doubts, your class, whatever it is, we will come to that a little later. So now Let's just understand the common leadership mistakes and how you can fix them. Mistake number one, talking more and listening less. If you have to practice, or if you have to lead a team, or if you have to lead yourself or navigate yourself, you need to start practicing more of active listening, as I said earlier. Mistake number two, avoiding difficult conversations. How can you do that? Address the issue in the beginning stage and in a polite and a respectful manner. But solution is like, it's not about you not bringing to the table and addressing the issue, but bring it on the table, put it on the table and discuss. But not when your emotions are at its peak, or not when you're irritated, or not when you're frustrated and all. When you're in a natural, neutral state where, okay, I am in that calm state of mind where water is not boiling or water is not dirty, where the water is crystal clear and you can see through that. Third mistake is leading with ego. Let's remove that I from our vocabulary and start using we. Led, led with empathy rather. Mistake number four, not having a clear vision. How can you fix this? Start communicating your goals consistently and regularly and start working towards it. Yes, vision is not created over a night or over a day. And mistake number five, ignoring self development. How can you fix this? Continuous learning or being a lifelong learner. Different things. It'll be different things for different people. I respect that. But then this is just for people who will be listening to this later, who wants a starter as to where you can start thinking. This is something you can start doing. So yes, this is something you can start doing with. Now, the next segment is your emotional intelligence, where the heart of leadership starts. Two leaders can have the same skills, but the one with emotional intelligence creates loyalty, trust, and high performance. Yes, at some point of time, that's a debate between, do you need IQ or do you need EQ for success? But I would say not only your IQ, it's also your EQ which needs to have to be successful. Because if you're not able to navigate yourself through emotions, it's difficult to be called a successful one. Why? I'll give you an answer for that. Basically, we spoke about self awareness, your self regulation, social awareness, and relationship management. When you talk about self awareness, think about this for yourself, where how far you are able to navigate yourself through different emotions, which many of us still find it very difficult. One example where this emotion is not talked so much, or this emotion is one thing where it doesn't go away, or rather it takes time, or it can be only navigated. It's not like other emotions where it will just come and go. That is something called grief. Grief can come in different forms. It can be a breakup, it can be losing your loved one. Sorry to say, but just an example. It can be different things for different people. But anger, any other emotion, you can still manage it in different ways. But managing an emotion like grief needs lot of self awareness, lot of self regulation practices, lot of other aspects to it. Yes, it's a topic for a different day, but still. So, in any situation, how do you respond when someone disagrees with you? That response defines your leadership. Not only disagrees in any situation, how do you respond in any given situation which is not in your favor, which is not at all in your favor? That response defines your leadership. That response, what I told you right now, that response defines your leadership. Even for that, whoever is interested, connect with me on one level. I can take you deeper on that. In this particular session, it's a little difficult to take you through that process, but whoever is interested, connect with me a little later. I can take you through. Uh, we have different leadership styles, and or rather, our natural style. I think many of us will be following Steve Jobs. Many of us will be following Simon Sinek. Many of us will be following different personalities like Priyanka Chopra. It can be, different people for different of us. We have authoritative, democratic, coaching, affiliative, situational, different leadership styles, which majorly we find authoritative, democratic, situational, servant leadership. We must be aware about all these different leadership styles. But no one fits no one style fits all. Either the leaders start adapting, not dominating. Maybe it will be a mix of all. So to identify this, you can ask yourself, when my team succeeds in something, do I empower them or do I take control over them? This is a question which you can ask yourself there. Do I empower or do I take control? If leadership is a skill and skills can be trained, so why struggle alone? As I said in the beginning, this boot camp is put over for a month of 8 sessions. Either it's on weekends or it's on weekdays, either it's group or one on one. It's up to you. This is more of first you start identifying, maybe you get a fresh perspective, you get fresh different ideas, and then you as a participant, if you need, okay, I want to explore something on this particular aspect of leadership, you let me know. We can dive into that deeper, but I've just given it as a leadership boot camp because I believe everyone is a leader in their own field. Even you understand your communication style, you become more confident in your communication. You have that clarity as a leader, your goal setting, or even your visioning, your team building strategies, your emotional intelligence mastery, a lot of other things will be taken care of. But the kind of program which I have put up is more of an holistic approach. It's not just I telling, you know, uh, leadership, but it's more of an holistic approach. Because I believe leadership is not about you becoming someone else, it's about becoming the best version of you. If something or if today's session resonated with you, imagine one full month of guided leadership training, what it can do to you. I'm saying nobody's your competitor, nobody's your competition. Your competition is with yourself. With the person whom you look at in that mirror or in that camera every day. So let's step up this leadership potential together. And now, if you have any questions, if you have any apprehensions or anything, you can ask me right now. Because this program is more about making you the best version in your own ways, and you will figure out. And in spite of your setbacks, in spite of your adversities, in spite of whatever you're going through, you still are the leader in your own path.
Hello, Dharshini.
Yes, Rajbin, good evening.
Sat Sri Akal and Namaste. I
Yeah,
have I have been through scaldation in my, so that's why I postponed my talk in the spiritual fest from yesterday, today till the last day. And yeah, but I'm very energetic despite my fall and everything. But yeah, I don't know why I keep on getting this. Biggest problem is my boss is my boss from National Cancer Society of Malaysia, who I love so much and who I she's trying to adapt me to a situation where she's had 40 years of service. Her name is lovely Adeline, just like
okay,
just like our Shabana here and our
okay,
yeah, she's a miracle, yeah. So um and then yeah, and then because of that, maybe I've been thinking and thinking, and I mean I've been having a lot to deal with in the past, being an IOTIS committee and everything. So, but uh, I'm still strong. But how to keep positive in a leadership perspective and in a home front where you have to. You're the youngest child in organization. You're a- you're so you're so you're so professional. You're so outgoing and everything. But in that's one question. And number two question is, in my home front, I'm doing everything despite being the youngest child. Me and my caregiver is like doing it and doing everything all we can to help the home front to understand and to reason out. When I reason out in the home front, think people are thinking that I'm shouting, but it's not shouting. It's just a talk therapy. So how do you overcome that? The first question is about the organization. How do you adapt to someone new in your organization? Because we're talking about leadership today. And my class in National Cancer Society of Malaysia have been canceling and canceling and canceling, and I've been it's maybe it's their responsibility to find people, but they're putting it on me. So how do we do that? I'm trying to radiate positive energy in my organization. How do we do that when the boss is retiring? How do we do that?
thank you for bringing up this wonderful question. Okay, first thing, many a times what happens, Rajban, is that we just start thinking from our own angles, from our own perspective, right?
Yeah,
Yes, many a times we
yeah,
just start thinking in that angle only.
because we love the person so much, and we are used to her organization style and hoping the next person who takes over her will learn from her example. But it's not it's not it's not always the case, because me and my caregiver maybe have to train the new manager and say, look, Adeline, Adeline, maybe you might want to adapt to Adeline's style or whatsoever, so that
See, there will be certain things which she
you
as a
can,
boss must have done in a particular way.
yes,
Start understanding that, or start having the conversations of, you know, or start
mm,
observing the way she did a lot of things, or start
yeah,
having that kind of conversations where you
yeah,
start
she's,
learning things from her. See, we may not,
uh,
we cannot do exactly the way she's been doing it, but we can start learning those skills which we feel we lack. Let's learn it from her and we implement it in our style. Rajvin, or what I can help you with this is on the only front is maybe, you know, take a program or talk to your, audience or to your organization about how you can adapt from her and continue that this thing in the way it is going
continue
and
because
try
she's
bringing new
under
skills to what
retirement.
we know.
She's under retirement, and people, she helps a lot of people like me, and everybody. Like basically, I am actually don't think about myself. I'm actually like
You should
her, and
start thinking.
all the other bosses that I have, like consciously positive and everything. I'm very outspoken, and because if something happens to me, I'm like freeze. I've been in that freeze
I
mode,
would
and
suggest you join the program. I think you'll
yeah,
find your answers because see now it'll be more of me giving you general answers, but to understand to give you very specific answers, it's better you take up my program because I'll tell you the reason. Here we are five of us, right? We all have different difficulties, challenges, roadblocks, different things which we go through.
yeah, yeah.
So because
It's
of that, I
true.
would I would suggest you have my number, you have my things, do the program, you'll find more clarity is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then in my home, in my uh I because I've not been going for hypnotherapy because my hypnotherapist is diagnosed with a lung infection, you know. And I felt very sad because there's a lot of things going on in me. People are like absorbing and absorbing and absorbing my energy when I am doing good. And this fall has also made it worse. So
I really would suggest join the program is what I would tell you for now.
that's one. But how do you uh overcome also uh the absorbing of energy in the home front, right?
Okay.
When you know you're a good daughter, you're a good all your siblings are married, you have to be somewhat the leader because parents depend on the youngest child. Uh yeah, I have a lot.
The only answer is start, reflects. Today I want you to sit back and reflect as to is there any habits or anything I can bring it a change so that I can navigate my energy. A simple
But
habit like breathing
yeah,
practice. Why I'm telling you is that because many a
breathing
times
practice.
our breathing is very short. And because of
Yes,
that, we start taking impulsive decisions or we start taking reactive responses to our
yes,
in our communication. So
yes,
what you
definitely.
do, start navigating your own energy, the other things. See, many a times what happens, we start trying to control what is not in our control. Is it
Yeah,
possible for us to deal with someone else's energy and think, okay, they will change it? No, it doesn't work that
no,
way.
that's what
We can start navigating our own energies and then we can come to, okay, now how I can deal with situations.
yes, okay.
Yeah. But maintaining the positivity also comes with your habits, your daily practices, and other things
But
also. It's not just
it's
one
not my
factor.
positivity, it's the other people's positivity that affecting me, especially the main people in the household. Like if they argue in I'm not talking outside. I'm not talking about my siblings. People who live in this household, their problem becomes my problem because we are
Is there anything you can
collaborating.
do about that problem? Is anything in your control to deal with that problem?
No, but
No.
then
I would suggest now it's the time for you to put yourself first, not to take other people's problem as your problem. Doesn't mean that not other people's problems are your problem, right?
yeah,
Maybe we are a family, but we'll be going through different things in different situations for different people. Don't take other problem as your problem because it's not in your control. Very simple.
actually I don't take. I just empathize.
Empathizing is good, Rajban, but then after a point, you need to leave it as it is
But then uh, but
because
then
you're
if the
spoiling your own health also.
keep keep
Because
keep
your
on
emotional health starts
but then
damaging your
if I keep
physical
on
health.
seeing them sad and
You can empathize. Hats off to you for that. But then after a point, you need to set your boundaries right.
people don't like me setting
You're doing
boundaries
good
now.
things. It's okay. You're doing
Even
good things. Just
even
leave it to
between
that.
mother and child don't like setting boundaries. Father and daughter can, but mother and
I
child
mean,
cannot.
when I say boundaries, after a point, you need to learn to say no. You need to learn to say no, even if they like it or even if they don't like it. Because when it comes to their own this thing, they know where to draw their line.
Then will be if I set boundaries for them, then it will be energy like
Ah.
exploding. But how? When they explode, I cannot control myself.
You need to
I
practice
I
of being, you know,
I
uh,
try I
okay,
try
let's
not.
take this. We will get into on a WhatsApp call. I will guide you through this further. Is that okay?
Okay.
Let me
Uh
understand the problem on a little deeper level so that I can give you appropriate answers. See, now we are discussing this on an open platform, which is not a space actually, if you ask me. So I will call you tomorrow or you give me a call. I anyway, you have my number. Give me a call tomorrow. Let's discuss this out. That works for you, Rajman?
yeah.
I'm
Thank
really
you for
happy, not, but not in this open platform.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah. See, I like helping. I'm glad I can help you out. But then certain things has to be discussed off camera.
Yeah, okay.
For
Thank
that
you.
reasons, let's take it off camera or off recording.
Yes, okay. Okay.
Thank you. So with that, the registration links will be down the video and if any more questions, feel free to post it or ask me at any given point of time. Or our community, even Shabana ma'am is also there to answer your queries. Thank you and over to you, Shabana ma'am.
Thank you so much, Darshini. Thank you, everyone. Premji, do you want to share anything?
He's been nodding throughout.
Last, yeah.
Thank you so much. Because as I was listening to you, I was learning something. Many of the mistakes you're pointing out, I've made those mistakes, and I had to learn the difference between perception, my perception, and the perspective. There's a very thin line there, but if we know perceptions and we know perspective really in the right context, we'll save ourselves a lot of headaches, a lot of problems. Uh, my father was a lecturer. He used to lecture. When he came back home, he used to lecture also. And so I thought that was the way. How wrong I was. When I started working, I realized that was not the way. Because 90% of us are talking 90% of the time. So who's there to listen? So I learned from one person. She was telling me about herself, and I was trying to fix her problem. She told me, Prem Kumar, can you shut up? I don't need your advice. I need someone to listen. Can you just shut up and listen? So I sat down and listened to her for half an hour without saying anything. That's the day I learned the difference between perception and perspective. Then I realized the goodness of effective communication is listening. And
Yes, that's
she
what I was
opened
trying
her,
to say.
yeah. So I'm bringing this in the open because I'm transparent about it. So thank you so much because it brought me back to the time, the turning point in my life where I understood the value of listening, the value of being a good follower, good followership. So it resonates a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure. And yes, Rajvin, you have one more answer from our Prem sir that sometimes only listening helps. You have to keep your mouth shut. Simple.
Often, often, often I do that, but sometimes it
Okay.
hurts.
It's okay. I'll tell you a different way for that, but not here. We will
Okay,
connect off camera. So
okay.
thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you, Darshani. Thank you, Premji. Thank you, Rajiv. And everyone. Thank you, Sabina ji. And see you all tomorrow.